To Coliseo de la Ciudad Deportivo in Havana, Cuba, and a very happy International Boxing Day to you all. We couldn't be in a better place because it was here in this venue, in this very ring, 50 years ago that the first IBA World Championships were held back in 1974. That is why we are here, not that there is ever an excuse needed to visit this supersonic boxing island. This is Ruslan Belousov of Russia.
En la esquina negra, representando a los domadores de Cuba, Saidel Horta.
And the first home fighter we see is Saidel Horta. Also on the bill, Lazaro Alvarez, Erizlandi Alvarez, Roniel Iglesias, Arlen Lopez, Julio La Cruz. 10 World Championship gold medals, 7 Olympic gold medals, a whole host of American Championships and Pan American Championships between them. It's an incredible spectacle, this, to see them all boxing in front of a home crowd. And this is the first pro boxing card put on in Cuba since the 1950s. Horta got a silver at the Pan Ams last year and at the World Championships. At the Pan Ams, he lost to Jamal Harvey of the USA. At the World Championships, to Abdulmalik Kolokov.
En la esquina negra, Saidel Horta, subcampeón mundial, 22 años. Los jueces que actuarán en este combate son juez número 1, Verónica Sox de Hungría, juez 2, Luca Badilonga de Italia, y juez 3, José Romero de España. El árbitro de este combate inicial es Emerson Pastor de Guatemala.
So our referee calls these two to the centre. That's Horta on the left-hand side there, Belousov on the right. And there's the tail of the tape. So Belousov with a pretty sizable height advantage there. I wouldn't say there's that much in it in terms of reach between these two. He went to the Olympics in Paris, Horta, and was expected to go deep, but it just didn't work out for him. He lost his first fight on a 3-2 split to a fighter from Kyrgyzstan, and needless to say, that wasn't supposed to happen. But it's exactly what can happen in elite level boxing. So Horta in the black and Belousov in the white. Horta boxing out of the southpaw stance, as is Belousov. They're scheduled for 6. With 57 kilos, the featherweight division. Climbs into a big lead right hand there. Belousov wasn't quite a hook. Long left hand caught mainly on the gloves there. Nice up jab there from Horta. Belousov has definitely come here with some ambition. 4-0 as a pro. Did box as an amateur for Russia, but didn't make it to major tournaments. Looking for the overhand left there, Horta. Belousov was able to see that coming from quite a long way out. Really good crowd inside the Coliseo as well, filling up all of the time. It holds 10,000. I don't think it'll be far off full before too long. Almost got caught there, Horta. Just dropped his height, shot that left hand straight down the middle, but did just lift up his chin a bit. Belousov, who boxes out of a slight crouch himself, nearly caught him. Comes quite square when he moves in, Belousov, as you can see there. It's that long left to the body, but a good left to the body from Belousov. Scored nicely with that one. Horta just pumping out that jab. I think he could do with using that a bit more. And again, as he just dips down and looks that left to the body, Belousov catches him. Not completely clean, it kind of ricocheted off the top of the head, but he's looking for that. So final 30 seconds. Well, there's blood coming from a cut in the hairline there, it looks like, of Belousov. So the corner will have a little bit of work to do on that. The right-hand side, the near side of his head as we look at it there. The far side now he's turned around and sat down, but the blood's running clear of the eye, so I don't think that's any kind of a problem. That will have been from a head clash. Decent opening round. Both fighters had some success. Not too much in it, that first 3 minutes. Everybody was up on stage in front of a good crowd in the Old Town this morning for the weigh-in. A lot of interest in this card, has been ever since it was announced. Again, he's looking to get close there, Belousov. Really get low and look to wing in those hooks. Horta applying some pressure himself. Just came in a bit high there. The head's almost coming together. Belousov trying to jab his way in and then just didn't quite pull the trigger on the left hand there. Referee just giving the pair of them the chance to work that one out themselves as they got into a little bit of a clinch. And again, you see it there. When he drops those knees, when he dips those knees, Horta, and looks for that long left hand to the body, Belousov immediately looks to try and throw that right hand over the top. Tries to lead off with a hook there, Belousov, and didn't quite manage to find the target. It's a fight that's been fought in bursts, this really, by the pair of them. That's some nice work there from Horta, moves off to his left-hand side after landing the left hand. Horta again just throwing the hook and then stepping off to his right-hand side is backwards to me, right above me. I'm not sure how clean it landed. Belousov on the inside there looks to let his own hands go and then has his right arm trapped on the blind side of the referee. Good jab from Horta into the final minute of round two. It's been a good fight this so far. Be interesting to see what happens as we head into the later stages. Horta, at 22 years old, will have very little experience of going beyond the three-minute rounds, none in fact. Whereas the likes of La Cruz and Zorro Alvarez and Roniel Iglesias and Olen Lopez, who we'll see later on, they boxed a lot of WSB, the 5 3-minute rounds. A competition which actually is returning next year. Boxing fans will be delighted to hear. But he hasn't got that. So when we go into the second half of this, it'll be interesting to see how he handles it. There is air conditioning in here. Hits you like a lovely cool blanket when you walk in through the doors, because this time of year in Havana it's about 33, 34 during the day, but the humidity is really, really high. If you're not used to it, which I'm certainly not, just walking around sees you dissolve in sweat in a matter of seconds, so I can't really imagine boxing in it, but the conditions in here are good. Jab there, just catching Belousov on the way in. It was interesting at the weigh-in, Belousov took to the scales wearing a baseball cap, a CUB baseball cap, which I think had been given to him actually in the minutes preceding. Horta took it off Belousov's head, put it on his own head, and then when they turned around to square off, just chucked it into the crowd. I'm not sure what Belousov thought about that, but he didn't give too much away with his reaction. So into the third round, and the crowd here just trying to get behind Saidel Horta. Good left hand there from Horta. Punched down nicely. And looking for that jab. And he's not looking to mix it quite as much in this round, Horta. He's keeping it on the outside a bit more, which I think he would be well advised to do, because he's capable of doing it. He can tend to throw that jab, follow it with the left hand, and then just really move onto the shoulder. But there he just maintains the distance. Popped that 1-2 off. It didn't quite reach, but rather than chase it in, he just got those gloves back, which doesn't give Belousov much of an opportunity to answer it. Because he'll know, Horta, that at some point Belousov will come. He will come. There's that left hand into the body, and that time just pulled out really, really quickly. When Belousov has had success countering that, it's been because Horta has held his feet and stayed in there too long. Good left hand from Horta. Nicely timed left hand. And this is good from him in this third round. The first couple of rounds, there wasn't much to pick between these two, but he's controlled this round. And he's done it so far comfortably. I think really he maybe has just settled. And again there he throws the 1-2, but his feet stayed absolutely underneath him. And he just brought those gloves back. There's that right hand counter again. I think in the first couple of rounds the adrenaline was up. He's boxing at home. This is a big, big card. It's a big, big crowd. But he settled down in that third round. Maintained that distance. Picked his punches well. And there wasn't an awful lot that Belousov could do about it. There's that chopping left hand. So midway through this one, scheduled for 6. And this is his first fight in the pros, Horta. So it'll be interesting to see how he handles these next 3. He's got that habit that lots and lots of fighters, international amateurs, have got, where when they feel that they've landed a scoring punch, they'll raise that glove to try and signal to the judges at ringside that they landed an accurate blow. Again, just reaching long with that left hand. Throwing in combination there, but again, just keeping that little bit more distance than he did in the first 2 rounds, so able to find the target a little bit more readily. Belousov has just got to try and keep the faith here to an extent and close that gap. Try and walk Horta down in as educated a way as he can. Move that head on the way in. Don't just follow him around the ring. Try and cut it off. All very easy things to say from where I am, but that's what he needs to do. He's just creeping in with that front foot. Use that jab. Try and move in behind that double jab and get into the range that he needs to be at. Because if he ponders and takes too long, then he'll just get hit with that left as he comes in. I don't think I've actually ever been closer to a ring than I am tonight. The edge of my table that has my notes and equipment on it overlaps with the edge of the ring apron. Well, both of them just taking an opportunity there to have a few seconds rest, I think. The referee called break and then had to actually get in and separate them. Good combination there from Horta. Nice quick hands. In that kind of position, I think Belousov has got to commit and just let his hands go sooner. If he waits too long there, then you can kind of see him almost talking himself out of it. Once he gets close enough, he just needs to throw. There's a little bit of a swelling underneath the, well, around about the right cheekbone there of Saidel Horta. A good combination from Horta, but one came back from Belousov. Maybe we'll get another look at that on the right-hand side of his face. So that side of his face there, nearest to us as we're looking at it, that's a big swelling, which you would imagine has come from a clash of heads. He's over on the far side of the ring to me, and I'm just getting a look at it now, and actually it's maybe not quite as bad as I originally thought, but something has happened there. He's taken a bang on the cheekbone. And there you just see it on the near side there. The way the light caught it earlier on, it looked like it was coming up quite quick, but it's not going to be any kind of a problem, I don't think. So into round 5. Ruslan Belousov in the white, Saidel Horta of Cuba in the black. It's a good counter from Belousov, 2-3 jabs there. A left hand as well from Horta. Belousov just rolled underneath one and through the right. And he's got to keep working here, the Russian. He needs to keep working hard because there are signs here, I think, that Horta might be feeling the pace a touch. But he scored there. Again, he's just trying to cover off that movement here, Belousov. He's done a pretty good job of that for most of this fight. He's just got to let his hands go in there. Horta comes off the ropes and manages to get a hold of him. Round 3 was a clear round for Saidel Horta. Other than that, there's not been an awful lot in the rest of them. I'd say on the whole he has picked the better punches of the two, but in terms of volume, I don't think there's an awful lot in it. That was a nice combination to the body there from Horta. And this is a time where Belousov really needs to try and put his foot on the gas here. Because if those energy levels are running low for Horta, he needs to find out, he needs to take full advantage of it. And again, just quickens up his feet there across the ring. Throws a jab. Good right hand on the inside there from Belousov. That was a lovely shot. Horta managed to turn him into the ropes, but that was a very well-timed punch by Belousov. Again, looks to try and come in behind the jab, and the left hand over the top lands. Last few seconds of round 5. Horta makes a miss there at the end of the round, but there's a good right hand, a nice up jab there from Belousov, which just caught the Cuban. And there goes the bell at the end of the 5th. And I think this is set up quite nicely, because I won't be at all surprised if through 5 rounds this is 3-2 to Horta. I think in a couple of those early rounds, he maybe picked the better punches. He definitely won round 3. These last 2, I would say that Belousov won that one. So a big final round here from the Russian. And he could get something here. Good right hand that was too. Just having a good look at the pair of them in their corners, and you can see Horta just take a big puff of air. Belousov away to my right hand side. Looks like he might just have a little bit more left. We'll find out. 3 minutes remaining. So touch your gloves. This is our opening fight of the night, of what is an absolutely cracking card. The kind of card where when you see it announced, you just want to be at it. Good jab from Horta. Nice one too. Pulled out nice and quick after he threw the left hand. And Belousov has got to get on Horta here. He's got to get right on him and make him work for every second of this round. Jab to the body. He was slightly lucky there, Belousov, because he didn't commit there at all, really, in the way that he needed to. The jab was very tentative. He moved in behind it anyway. Was stuck in no man's land a bit, but luckily for him, nothing came back from Horta. He was in prime position to be countered. Looked for that left hand over the top there and landed it. The jab was slightly short, but this time he did commit, moved in, chucked that left hand over the top, and that collided with the face of Horta, absolutely no question. And again, that right hand, nice jab, just catches Horta on the way in. And this has been a good competitive fight right from the very start. Belousov must feel that he's got more in the tank here than Horta, the way this is going. He must do. 90 seconds remaining. He needs to try and make it count. Blood coming from a cut on the corner of the right eye there of Saidel Horta. I didn't see the punch that could have caused that land. In that kind of territory, it's more likely to be a clash of heads, and that's what's signalled there by referee Emerson Pastor. If the doctor decides to stop this, then we'll go to the cards, of course. And well, it's actually just on the cheekbone, and I think there's another one just on the corner of the eye as well. And where that cut on the cheekbone has come up is directly on top of that swelling that we saw from earlier on. Just over a minute remaining. The head's come together on the inside again there, which I think has been responsible for pretty much all of the damage on that side of Horta's face, to be honest. And he's just blinking, just dabbing the blood away. And Belousov is going for it here, which he absolutely should. There's that left hand over the top again there. That's done some good work for him. There's quite a lot of blood coming from that cut. And if this was earlier in the fight, then I think we wouldn't have made it through to the end. But given that we've got just over 30 seconds remaining, well, not quite as much as that, actually. The clapper's just gone. Looking for that big left hand again there. Belousov. Sneaky little right on the inside. There goes the bell at the end. A touch of gloves between the two. Horta mounts that corner post. Celebrates with the Cuban fans. I'll make that a close fight. I'll make that a close fight. I think he'll get it. I think in the early rounds he picked the better punches. A clear round win in round 3. A clear round win in round 5 of Belousov, I felt. Other than that, there wasn't all that much in this fight. So the away corner fighter there, I think, has brought some good heat. And you see the damage to the face there of Horta. That cut on the cheekbone, a cut on the corner of the eye. There's some swelling as well. That's not how you judge who has won a fight. I always find it nonsensical when people claim that, but he will certainly know he's been in one when he wakes up tomorrow. RMC Camilo Perez just slipping through the ropes. Up above me, Emerson Pastor has called these two to the middle. Our scoring judges at ringside. Three in total.
La decisión del primer combate de la noche en la división de los 57 kilogramos. El ganador por decisión unánime en la esquina negra de los domadores de Cuba,
Saidel Horta gets it by unanimous decision. We didn't get the scores there from RMC. He gets the win. But it was a good fight, and Ruslan Belousov put plenty into that. Really good way to open the show, and nice there to see Horta get the crowd to give him that ovation, and just gifted him a little bit of Cuban kit, which I can tell you is much sought after. You cannot buy it in the shops. You have to hunt high and low for it. Big night for Horta. As I said, he's a young man. He's broken into that Cuban team in relatively recent times. Has plenty of experience now, but this isn't something he's really done before. It's not something that any of the fighters boxing on this card have done before in these kinds of circumstances. With this being the first pro card in Cuba for such a long time. And I think early on he was a bit too full of adrenaline, and that can drain your tank quite quickly, and I think he was feeling it towards the end there, but a lot of that was down to the fact that the man in front of him just kept bringing the pressure there. Belousov. Good fight.